everyone, thank you so much for watching. Today I have a review comparison of the Onthego MM and the Neverfull in the MM size, both by Louis Vuitton. If you're interested in any of these pieces, stay tuned to hear my thoughts. But before we go on, if you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope you'll decide to subscribe before the end of the video and give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. So I'm going to start off by giving you the similarities of both of the bags, and then I'm going to break it down between what I like and don't of each of the pieces. So let's go first with the Onthego. This is the handbag that I'm currently using right now. So one of the things that it has, and similar to the Neverfull, is that you can convert it into a tote. So you have both totes available, and they're pretty much in the same size. See? So I'm just gonna say that the size is also similar, but there is a twist to that. The next thing that is similar between the two bags is the top closure. They do not have a zipper closure. They're both rather exposed, but they do have a clasp as an option. So the Neverfull has a little D-ring right here and then a hook, as well as the Onthego, same concept, a little D-ring and the clasp to hook it on. I actually don't use the clasp on either of my handbags. I just have them open, just so you know. Although they don't have a zipper closure right at the top, one of the similarities that they do have is they do both have a zippered pocket. So in the interior of the Onthego, you'll find the large zippered pockets, and it's about the same depth as the one for the Neverfull. So in the Neverfull, it's the same, right? Except the inside of this is more of that washable lining, whereas this is the same as the actual handbag. So if you get any powder in there, you probably won't be able to clean it off, but perhaps with the microfiber cloth you can. I know that I'll be able to pick up any powder from the cloth material. So it's not completely a similarity, but it kind of functions the same in my opinion. So the Neverfull does have a small D-ring off to the side. You see right here, and the Onthego, while it doesn't have one particularly for that, it does have this, which is a part of the closure, and I feel like it works just the same. I used to use a hook to hook on my sunglasses, and on here it works the same, so that's why I consider them just about the same thing. And lastly, one of the other similarities is that they have no dividers in between, so you are free to just throw your stuff in any particular order that you would want it. So here's same thing for this one. So for the differences, although they are two separate bags, they are just about the same concept. They're both tote style bags. One of the obvious differences that the Onthego has is that it has top handles as an option. So you can use this both as a top handle bag and as a shoulder tote style handbag. But with the Neverfull, it doesn't have an option to wear it as a top handle, but it does have an option of converting it to a different style of tote. By cinching in the side, you can convert it more into a bucket style tote, so it gives it another look. And then of course, depending on how high or how tight of a cinch that you do on the bag, you can kind of change the shape just a tad bit. So it does give you a little bit of versatility on that aspect of having a different style of totes. I think that's something that a lot of people don't consider when looking into the Onthego and the Neverfull, that although this doesn't physically have top handles the way this one does, you can absolutely change the shape of it, and all of a sudden you have two handbags with this one as well. But coming back to the Onthego, on here, the other difference that this has versus the Neverfull is that it does have two side pockets. So attached to this zipper pocket, there's two slip pockets that you can use, and I do have an iPhone, and this fits fine, just a little bit snug, but my phone does have a case on it. Now it is rather a slim profile type of case on the phone. But it can still go in, you see, it fits. So any outside decorations on the Neverfull, it's not an actual decoration, like not a bag charm, but one of the features that make it a little bit more spicy, if you will, is how it has the tassels, and it has a little D-ring here on all four sides. On the Onthego, it doesn't have a D-ring tassel, but it does have this a small detail here, and it has it on all of the corners. So while it's not completely functional, just like the way this little D-ring is, it is still a little bit of a catch of light that it gives the bag, so it's a little bit more flashier whenever you swap. And while on the topic of swapping, this handbag, it is the reverse giant monogram. So on one side it is that chocolate with honey, and on the other side it is the honey with the chocolate. So I don't know if those are the technical terms for the colors, but that's what I'm gonna call them. The base also does resemble the split between the two. So technically speaking, you have 4 handbags with it on the go, whereas this one you only have about 2 or 3. So you can use this on this side with the shoulder strap, or you can use the same on the opposite side. You can use it with the top handle, or you can use it with the shoulder. You have 4 bags in one. While this is limited on how many handbags or how versatile this piece can transpire, it does come with a zippered pouch, which this one doesn't. And that pouch, a lot of people use it for a clutch on a night out, or just like a grab and go wallet. I think it is meant to be a wallet. My Neverfull is actually much older. It did not come with a zippered pouch whenever I did get the Neverfull. I do have a zipper pouch in another version, which I'll bring back just to kind of show you what it is that I'm talking about. So this is the pouch, like I said, that comes with one of my other Neverfulls. Whenever you buy the monogram style, it doesn't have any decorations of any kind. This was a limited edition. So in the back, it is just plain monogram. It doesn't have the stripes outlined, and same with the fronts, but the inside is pretty similar. It'll have whatever lining that you have. Like if you do have the regular beige, it'll have the beige lining. If you have the rose ballerine, it'll have that kind of lining. Or if you have even this red interior that my Neverfull has, the pouch is also going to have the same interior, and on the inside it's going to have a pocket. So that is all that it's going to be in there. It's not going to have any card slots of any kind, but you can still use that for the same function, and then just everything else in the center. So that is the pouch, and they all have a little strap that you can use as a wristlet. And while I do have my Neverfull that came with, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you. This is the Game On collection Neverfull. It was a limited edition collection, and that is how I was able to get this piece. So the price differences between both of these bags is something to consider because they are significant. This bag compared to this, I think it's about $1,000 or $1,200 in difference. I'll put the prices currently right here on the screen. Just consider you are getting 4 handbags, I guess, for the $1,000 or $1,200 more, but you're also getting the 2 different styles that you can convert your Neverfull into, plus your pouch that can double as a clutch, a wristlet, or a wallet. So evaluate how you will. So although they both have a large interior and no divider, the Neverfull is going to give you more space or more handbag real estate, if you will. It's going to be a little bit more versatile in that aspect because this handbag is structured and the side pleats do go inside of the bag, so that does occupy a little bit of a space. You see how this one's tucked in? You can certainly fill it up all the way to where this is just expanded a little bit outward, and it'll give you just a slight bit more of capacity. Realistically speaking, the Neverfull is gonna give you more space to work with. I don't have a bag organizer in either of my handbags, but if I did have one in here, I bet if I take it out and put it onto my Neverfull, you're still gonna have a little bit of more spacing to work with. Maybe stick like a bottle of water off to the side. It's still giving you a little bit of more space to work with. The other thing with this is that the Neverfull is much more flexible, right? So even though I said that you can stick out the side detail here, curve it out, I personally would just use the bag to the available capacity that it has without stressing either of the angles. If you are looking for a piece that you can travel with, they do have this in a bigger size, which I think will be a little bit more flexible and will give you more spacing, because if you stick a sweater in here, it's gonna take up just about most of the space, whereas here you can still have some room. And I'll show you in a little bit what I mean. I'll grab some items and transfer both on either of the bags just so that you can see how I mean that you can get a little bit of more spacing with the Neverfull. Personally, my favorite between the two is the On The Go. It has more of a structure, so I don't have to worry too much about having an organizer, whereas this one, it is gonna lose its shape a little bit. The base of this bag is very well enforced by this side pleat. You're not gonna have sagging in your corners, the way you do with this one. I haven't used this particular Neverfull in some time, but just by storing it, I have it sitting down like this, and the angles, they stick out. Even whenever the handbag is full, it'll be just a little bit more squared like that, whereas here it's a little bit more of a gap. But there's actually not too much that you can do about it. I try to fold down my Neverfull to where it is whenever you do get it. It comes like this whenever you get it from the store. It's been open for such a long time that it's kind of hard to get that angle back on the handbag without making any kind of creases with the canvas. The handbag is actually 9 years old now. The canvas on there is still in very good condition. I did have to redo the handles, and while I'm talking about the handles, I can show you, because the handles, especially in this style, you're gonna see a lot of creases because this is a treated leather, so it has a coating in there to treat and protect the leather even more. A lot of people like the Damier Ebene because of that reason, but I will say that it makes the handbag a little bit heavier, just a slight bit. Because I do have the other one that doesn't have that, it will still get creases on the handles, but it's not gonna be as prominent or as like an eyesore the way it is with the Damier Ebene. So here are my handles. So because it's not treated, they flop down, but still there's no creases even where it does kind of sit down, like right here. So if this was the Damier Ebene, you would see that right off the back, but the untreated leather handbags are a little bit more flexible from that side. So coming back to the Neverfull, it does have the trim, which is on the same material as the top. This and this brown, and also the tassel is the only leather, including this little piece right here and where the zipper's at. Those are the only leather pieces that you have in your handbag. Just a disclaimer, a lot of people say, oh, well, it's an all leather bag. This is canvas, it's not leather. Coming over here, same thing, it's all canvas. It doesn't even have much leather. The only leather that it does have is the straps and the little holes inside right here, and then also the stamping right there of the brand. Even though that one shows markings, this one does as well. This is black calfskin. If you get the older ones, I think it'll be between 2019 and early 2020. If you get one of the handbags that has the straps that match this canvas, the only thing that I would say that it will probably be prone to fraying just a little bit more. That's probably why they decided to move on to the calfskin straps fairly on into introducing the bag. I think within a year of the bag launching, they swapped out the straps. The only thing that I have against this is, I'm gonna see if I can show you here. The only thing that I have against this style and calfskin in general is, I don't know if you can probably see that. You see the little marks. I don't know what that's from, but just some detail to note that you can get something easier on this, whereas the Neverfull in this style, or even on the Monogram or the Damier Azur, you're not gonna see anything like that. But the straps on the go, it has these creases, and that's just something that comes with the leather. You know how like in Chanel, people always compare the caviar leather versus the lambskin leather? It's similar concept to this. This is calfskin, and this is more delicate, to where if you did have a deep mark, it would show on the actual leather. And so this crease that I'm showing you here is just something you can naturally not avoid with the bag, and I'm gonna tell you because, and that's because the straps are built into the bag, and once they hit the bag, they are a little bit longer, so they have to lay flat, and so it creates the creases on the two ends right there, and that is for both of the straps here. Now another thing that I noticed about this particular strap is probably just the black color, but the glazing on the side can tend to show just a little bit of a white. If you use like leather conditioner, you can soften that out. I haven't done it on this particular bag. And then also here I have this mark, so that's probably the closest thing I can show you to how wear looks on the actual strap. So it has a line right there, and then you know the creases from where I'm telling you that the bag hits the base. Right here you can kind of see the glazing or the glue a little bit more. So it's something that's naturally going to happen with your bag as you use it. These handbags are not meant to be fireproof or indestructible. They're gonna have some kinks, and they're gonna have some wear, and that's gonna be natural. Obviously, if there's something really wrong with your bag whenever you do get it, obviously go into the Louis Vuitton store and get it checked out. But just know that things like that are gonna happen to your bag. Like in my little corner here, it's fraying just a little bit, but I have had this bag for a year and a half. It'll be 2 years in the summer. I don't expect this to be exceptionally new because I do use this bag. Now, talking about wear, for some reason, it does not matter how slow I walk. I can tippy-toe and I'm still going to hit something with the corners. I think it's because the bag is structured. And another thing, I tend to use this as a top handle, so that's naturally just a little bit lower. Whereas with this bag, I still bump into things, but not the way I do with this one. I'm not even that much of a klutz, to be honest, but it just happens. And like I said, I still bump into things every now and then with this one, but this one is nearly like every time I use it, like I'm tapping something. It's not like a hard bump, right? Otherwise you would see wear on the corners, but my corners are just fine. So it is a very hardy material, so that's a bonus. And then another thing, this bag will sit just a tad bit higher than this will whenever you're naturally using it. So both of these handbags are great. If you're a little bit of in a tighter budget, I would say go with a Neverfull because you'll be able to use it for a lot more. This is a handbag that I used to wear for college, not for my books. I would put my books in my backpack and I would see girls using their books and I felt so bad for these straps. One of them was like literally hanging by a thread and it could have been a replica, but really and truly don't put all your books in here. This is not a backpack. So take care of your handbag. Unless you're rich and you have disposable income, then you know, you do you. But if I did have to use a backpack, I just opt for using the backpack and not carrying my Neverfull at all. I have used this a lot for work as well. And then another way that I use it is for travel. This is the bag that I put under front seat and I have on the plane with me, and I do not mind putting it down in that dirty carpet because it is canvas and you can easily wipe this material clean as well as disinfect it. Obviously do not use any hand sanitizer or alcohol because it does have a protective coating that if you do put that on there, it's going to start lifting and peeling, kind of like the way I showed the glazing on the straps. This bag, I don't think I would be comfortable in using it under the seat on an airplane just at all. It is more expensive than this one. It's too precious for me to just slip it down under there, especially knowing that this is one of my older bags and I've used it that same way a lot. It's fine. So they're both very great bags at the end of the day. Just a Neverfull gives you just a tad bit of more flexibility as to how you can use it, or you know, what occasions or environments that it would be best for. Whereas this one, because it's a little bit more structured, I treat it just a little bit more different. It's a little bit more feminine, but I still use this one for every day. It's actually the bag that I'm currently using. I love top handles and this gives me that option. I do see oftentimes people using the Neverfull as a top handle, and sometimes I do that as well. I'm not any exception, right? Sometimes you just grab your bag and you have to go. I will say that I'm just more comfortable using this as a top handle, whereas the drop of this is just a little bit too long for my liking to have it as a top handle. So I actually think that's why they introduced the on the go. So if you have a Neverfull and you're thinking about getting an on the go and you don't know whether you want a second Neverfull or a third Neverfull, look at how you use this. Or if you do have just any tote in your collection in general, look at how you use it. If you are very good at having it as a shoulder bag, then the Neverfull would be the bag for you because you're going to use it that way just as fine. But if you find yourself oftentimes just having it on the crook of your arm, then just go with the on the go, because the on the go is going to have that for you and it's going to be much more comfortable to handle the bag. And you do still have the bonus of using this as a tote. So you're not completely doing away with the totes. It's just more comfortable as a top handle if that's the way you like to use your tote bags. So even though you can convert this into a tote, I consider this more of a top handle, and more so because then I need to bring the bag all the way forward and move everything just to take off even one strap and then go in back into the bag and take in the other strap. I thought that I would have liked this to have had like clip-on style of straps on here to give you the option of using this as a tote if you wanted to, and possibly even avoid the creases that naturally comes with your bag. But at the same time, the way they have it currently set up is just much better, because if you did have to clip it on, you would still take some time to clip on the actual straps on here. So if you like this bag as an actual top handle and you just don't care for the straps, I don't know that I would clip it because it will diminish the value on your bag. Now, if you're not thinking of reselling it ever, then go ahead and do it, but I would just not do it. But that is an option if in case you only want this bag as a top handle. right? I am not advising for that. I do have my straps and I'm gonna continue to keep my straps on the actual handbag. Just something to know, because I know a lot of people just modify their bags after the fact to something that fits them best. Here I have a food scale, so I should be sensitive enough to pick up my handbag. This is a Neverfull and I have this in ounces. Alright, so the scale finally stopped and this is an empty Neverfull. It says the weight on it is 10.6 ounces. If you want that in pounds, it is 0.6 pounds. Ounces again, well, it dropped a little bit. I think it's just the air. Kilograms. And then the grams, that's the total weight of an empty Neverfull. Again, this is the Damier Ebene, which is a little bit heavier because of the treated leather, but there is the weight of it. All right, so this is the on the go and it's fully empty, just as how it comes. So in ounces, it is 28.1 ounces. Kilograms, 0.796. Grams, 796 grams. And then pounds, 1.75 pounds. Again, this is an empty on the go. So the on the go is definitely heavier than the Neverfull. All right, so I'm gonna do some measurements, and about 14 inches long in opening. And then on the opposite side, it is about 8 at the widest part of the bag, about 8 inches. And then about 15 and a half in how wide that it opens, about 15 and a half. All right, so height, it's about 10 inches, you'll see right there. A strap drop is about 8 inches. So the inside, the height capacity of the pocket is about 7 inches. I would say it's probably just a little bit less because I don't think you can get all the way down to the bottom. Okay. So as far as the width of the actual pockets, because of the zipper, I'm not going to count from edge to edge, just whatever the opening will allow you to get. So it is about 7 inches, and that's roughing the actual zipper. So I would say if you have something that is about 6.5 inches or shorter, it'll be fine to go in through there and fit inside just comfortably. So like perhaps a wallet. I have my wallet here for reference. This is 5 inches, just fine. And you see it actually doesn't go all the way down. It like stops right there. See? My bag actually does have a date code right here in the back. The D-ring. Then I have the made in USA. And that's it. So the corners, you see, does that. This one's a good one. So for the length of the bag, I'm not gonna go all the way to this little peak because this can open a little bit. So I'm gonna say to about there, and then same for here. So about 10.5 inches. And then this is pretty much, you know, you can't really give too much stretch here. But if you did wanted to, like at this particular angle where I have it, this is 7 inches. But how the bag actually comes and how the bag stays for me most of the time is about 5 inches at the max, I would say. Right there. So the height is 10 inches exactly. So 10 inches for the height. The drop here, it's about 5.5, you know, including the little rivets. About 5, or if you want it from the edge of the bag up to the top of the handle, it's about 4.5. And then the drop of the actual shoulder, it's about 10 inches. So the inside pockets, 2 slip ones. There's a little triangle right here. I don't know if you can see. So I'm gonna measure from the little triangle to the edge. That is 3.5. So 3.5, the opening of each of the little pockets. And then for the actual zipper, the opening is, so the zipper stops right here. Okay, 7.5 inches. So about the same length as the Neverfull. So my battery died, but I think I left off on the height of the pocket. So 5.5. And some details of the bag. Date code is down there. So the zipper pull is different from the Neverfull. Alright, so these are the items that I'm going to test to see how they fit inside each of the handbags. I have a book, a magazine, a standard size water bottle, a makeup bag, a personal size umbrella, a compact wallet, an agenda, a cardigan. This is kind of light and thin, so there's that. And then a sunglass case as well as an iPhone. Okay, so this is the On The Go. So I'm going to start off with the magazine. So this, it has to fit snug, but just note that it's going to be a little bit hard for you to take this off. So just keep that in mind. Then I have the sweater. So I'm going to fold it one more time. And then I'm going to grab the agenda and the book. Obviously, this is more like if you're going to be traveling or using this bag for work, because I personally don't travel with my agenda every day or a book. This is a makeup bag. I do have some items in there, so I'm going to slip that to the side. Space right in here for an umbrella. Now the umbrella does stick up, so I'm going to try to put that all the way down. Okay, so instead I put the umbrella way at the bottom. So there's that. And then the makeup case, I'm going to slip it here. Then I have my wallet. And then this is my phone, so I'm going to put that. Alright, so I put the phone in there, and one thing about the straps here is that it just gets in the way of whatever it is that you're going to put in these pockets. But, you know, just kind of work around there. And then some sunglasses. I'm going to put that off to the side there. And then a bottle of water. So I'm going to tighten that. Actually, I'm going to put this to the side, and then I'm going to put this back here. So this is the handbag with all of the items that I said that I would put in there. Everything fits. It is, wow, it is very heavy, just so you know. So like I said, this is probably how you'll pack it to travel, and you'll likely be using the straps inside, because I can just see that this is too heavy to be on your arm. And this is just a sample of how you can load it to about max capacity. This is a lot of the items that I traditionally don't carry on my handbag on a day-to-day, so just a disclaimer there. So just to kind of see, the sides did kind of protrude just a little bit, and then as I'm pulling it up, it does kind of distribute the weight like in here, so it makes this bulge a little bit. But yeah, this is how the bag looks. Alright, so now I'm going to try all the same items inside the Neverfull. Alright, so this is the inside of my Neverfull. And just be mindful, she is very old, so yours would not look like this. She is nearly 10 years old. If you want to have the umbrella sticking up, it does cover. It does cover within the height of the actual bag. I'm actually gonna lay it down because that's typically how I would have it anyways. And then the iPhone, I'll put the iPhone on the pocket, even though most of the time I just have it anywhere in the handbag. And then for the wallet, I'm not going to use my small wallet. I'm just going to use what comes with the Neverfull, because if you were to get this in recent times from the actual store, you would get this, and I imagine that you would be using it with your Neverfull. So I'm just going to put it right here, close to the pockets. And you see, I do have space, actually. And then the bottle of water. So put that there. So really, there is still more space available here. So I can stick some stuff in there. Let's just say I did want to go ahead and use the wallet just because I have it here. I can put it there, right? And then I could still put like a scarf, or even I can use a chunkier sweater or more like a long cardigan kind of style. The capacity on the Neverfull is just a little bit more better. And then in terms of weight, it actually does feel lighter. But remember, the Neverfull naturally is a little bit lighter than the on-the-go handbag. So this is perfect for work or for school, like I mentioned, just obviously something light like this, or even for travel as well as for everyday. So that's the two comparisons of how the same items fit on both of the bags. So that's pretty much the summary of how I see both of the bags. My favorite is the on-the-go handbag, just because I just like top handles and it works for me. I do still love the Neverfull, and I have more than one, as you saw. Even though I got mine without the pouch, I still love the bag just as much. But the on-the-go has a little bit more of a structure to where it's more feminine. I like it for that reason, just a tad bit more, and I don't really carry too much on my handbags on a day-to-day basis. So having everything compact the way the on-the-go has that option, I like that best, because I find whenever I do wear the Neverfull, because I don't carry a lot, it just looks like the back of a trunk. I have an image of Toy Story and Pizza Planet truck guide of how I feel that my things look on the Neverfull versus on the go. Perhaps you are the same, and the on the go will probably be a better choice for you. But in either case, they're both fantastic bags. The Neverfull does have that bonus pouch that a lot of people like. Even though a lot of people do have the Neverfull, I say it over and over, it's for a reason. It's a very good bag, so don't be like, oh, whoa, I'm just gonna be another one, because really and truly, there's a lot of people that have the on the go as well. I see it a lot on the larger size, the GM version. I only have it on the MM size thing, and I feel like the MM is a perfect everyday size. I also have gotten a lot more compliments wearing the on the go versus the Neverfull, but that could also be because the Neverfull is a little bit more popular or has been around for much longer than the on the go, you know. So just something that I've noticed while I'm out and about. If you have any questions and I might have missed mentioning something that you're curious about, do let me know down below. Thank you so much for spending a little bit of your day with me, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.